Ms. Alvanna-Stimpfle, it's good to have you before the committee. And just thank you for your extraordinary leadership when it comes to language preservation. The Alaska Native Language Preservation and Advisory Council provides an index of the various local language programming that's offered by the schools, nonprofits, other heritage centers. These are detailed maps that are able to highlight the various geographic areas within the state that are covered by the local, tribal, and state outreach. It's a pretty useful tool, again, given limited resources that are available. So with the Durban Feeling Native American Language Act, it would require a survey of federal programs that support Native language, theoretically to help inform federal decision makers about what the resources are, if the federal agencies are living up to their responsibilities to preserve and to support preservation and revitalization of Native languages. So how do you think this helps us? Would having access to information about these federal Native language resources help inform the collection and programming for the work that is done within the Preservation and Advisory Council? Is this helpful from a national perspective, or do we need it to be just more organically driven?
Well, you know, I'm very proud of our young people that have worked tirelessly in trying to revive our languages with elders as our mentors. And the one thing for the Inupiaq region, that would include North Slope, the Nana region, Kotzebue area, and then Bering Straits, where I'm from. They put it upon themselves to do a survey, language survey, who speaks fluently, who are the beginners, and the ones in between. So between our young people and the elders that are out there, I think working cooperatively that way would really bring a good picture to the status of our languages. For example, the villages east of Nome are maybe there's one or two fluent speakers left in their small community. And it's beginning to look that way for the villages north of Nome, Shishmarath, Diomede, Wales, and King Island is what I speak. So working with our young people and making sure we're coming out with classroom teachers that are able to speak the language with mentors is very important. So having the statistics of number of speakers is very helpful. Senator Murkowski.
Let me ask one more quick question of you. We're also looking at the effort to foster the relationship between Native language programs and institutes of higher education. So you got Iloksavik up north, and wanting to encourage that. But is this something where, in your view, we need to be focusing on the early learners, the kids, and getting them part of this so that the language is continued? Or is it something that we, at this point in time, we need to be focusing on the connection with those in higher education? I think there's a sense of urgency in so many of our communities because, as you say, we're losing our native speakers. So maybe we need to focus on everybody. It just can't be the children. It can't be those in college. It needs to be that whole gamut.
Thank you for that question. I believe it's really important to work with our young people for them to become speakers of our language. And also it's very important for them to learn how to speak to our children because our language, our Inupiaq, is very long. And it could be one word or one sentence in English. So how we speak to our children is very important because they need to grow into becoming fluent Inupiaq speakers as they get older, so that starting with our young people, late teens, early 20s, to get them comfortable in speaking, because we still have generations of older generations that have been hurt from their past and traumatized for not speaking their language that they don't really want to share, or they get angry if young people aren't saying things correctly. So we need to put those young people in a safe place, especially to learn how to talk to our children, and trying to kill um, how many birds with one stone. So everyone is included, and also very making sure that we are protecting our elders. My daughter, who's the first ever Inupiaq immersion teacher, she prepared for this, and she was in high school, by the way. Um, she felt like she couldn't invite any elders in her classroom during COVID, the 70 and 80-year-olds. Um, but my niece and I, who's only 2 years younger than me, she tells me yesterday, you're in your early 60s, so with the protection that we both had with all the students, we were able to go in every day. My niece went in every day, and I went in 2 times a week to mentor. Um, when I listened to her teach and say maybe a vowel wrong within a long word, then I just repeat it correctly. So, and those are situations we need to create. Thank you.
Thank you. You've done a great job with your daughters. I know that personally, so thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.